Brought to you by Bank of Baroda, India's international bank.
Hello and welcome back to Chai Chat with Lavina, where we started talking of snap poll, very smoothly entered into Brexit. But will Brexit be smooth at all, whatever be the result of the election, and what kind of deal or negotiation we want, and the relationship we might have with India finally or not, will that be sorted out? So I open this to everybody, Lance, Dhimanji maybe, of what kind of negotiation will you end up doing, you think? What is it that you're looking forward to for so long? What is it that you're going to get for us, finally having achieved Brexit?
Can I tell you on a food note?
Yes.
As a Parsi, I like my food.
Yes.
And I would like to get a dried Bombay duck back in the restaurant. That is true, because we used to all enjoy in an Indian restaurant having this roasted Bombay duck, which has stopped because of Brexit. And also
why? Because of Brexit?
Because the European Union rules did not allow it for dried fish to be brought from India. So that is something which we would like. Also,
why wasn't that mentioned in the campaign? I mean, it would have been 60-40, not 52-48 if we would have known.
Also, 2 years ago, the Alfonso mango were prohibited.
Yes, and it has never come back.
No, they're back.
It has come back,
right.
after a lot of lobbying and all the things. There were a lot of silly rules about Brexit, about Europe, which needed to be changed.
Last year, we had to spend thousands and thousands of pounds reprinting all of our packaging for smoked salmon so that it could have an EU warning sign on the back which said, contains fish. I mean, this sort of stuff is just, it's ridiculous. And this is why people are getting frustrated with it
I
all.
want to know.
So I think come in and we should have second dish, because I bet today I thought
so now
we should have salmon on our menu back again after meeting you today.
Salmon bag?
And Bombay duck.
Bombay duck.
So got two new
Will Bombay
things.
duck be back? Will the
You can't bring them
because
now.
I was sold this dream, by the way. Yes, you can tell me now that by Right Honourable Priti Patel, that there will be more chefs, Indian chefs, allowed in the UK.
It's all lip service, 100%. I'm convinced of it now. I have been in this for last 5-6 years. It's all lip service. Exactly. There is no effort. In fact, the rules are hardened more and more, just to make sure. Ultimately, what will happen is you will have smaller menus, you will have more anglicized Indian food, and you have to maybe travel to India to get the food.
How many restaurants shutting off Indian? 3 to 4 a week or something
Yes.
like that.
The curry houses in the UK are in real crisis, actually.
But there are one or
really
two
are.
opening as well, which are not Indian food, which are totally anglicized small plates, and you're supposed to eat it thinking it's Indian food. So
Are we losing the single market, Lance? And how are we gaining by losing that?
Well, I don't think we should consider it a loss. I think by not being members of the single market is actually a gain, because it also allows us to trade and open up relationships with the rest of the world. We cannot have a trade agreement with India if we're in the EU. We can't have trade agreements with other countries. So I think that by pulling out but accessing the single market, we open ourselves to doing deals with the rest of the world. And I think that's got to be a good thing.
Anand, I think you have to come in here. Are
Right.
we looking at doing
I
deals
think
better?
Well, I think it's almost certain that we're going to leave both the single market and the customs union.
Okay.
That means that the level of trade we have with Europe is going to go down significantly, and they're our biggest trading partner. Yes, what Brexit means is that we can then go off and sign our own trade deals. No one's going to sign a trade deal with us in our benefit. So, we talk a lot about President Trump. He's keen to sign a trade deal, sure. But what was his slogan in the election? America first. He wants a trade deal that creates jobs in America that benefits American companies. He's not going to be thinking about helping the British economy. So trade deals are easy, good trade deals are really hard.
There we are. I get that tagline. I love it. Trade deals are easy, but good trade deals are really difficult to get.
But
So
don't we want Indian students who are qualified here to go back to India and work for India? There's also that
It's not
point.
about that. See, he mentioned about those chefs and all those
Yeah,
things. See,
yeah.
these are all small things. See, you cannot have a free trade without mobility. And in today's world, if you want to say that,
Yeah, that's
as she said, that Trump wants that American and all these things should be there, and I will not take anything from you. That doesn't happen.
So you think that now, if the Brexit happens, which is happening, India will be able to secure a deal with Europe and maybe with Britain if they agree on the visa.
With Europe also, the same problems are persisting again. Mobility is a problem everywhere.
But the challenge of mobility is also changing with technology. Now, obviously, if you're a chef, you need to be on the location. But
absolutely,
we use Indian businesses, Argentinian business. We use businesses all over the world because everything can be done online nowadays.
That is true. Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to travel to a place to do business.
I'll say two things about that. One is the British economy is overwhelmingly service-based in terms of its exports, and services, unlike goods, require you to travel. If you're selling a service, people don't tend to do these things by Skype. People like to do these things in person. If you're selling a service, you need to travel. And actually, even the Canadian free trade deal, which some Brexiters want to model our deal on, includes a degree, not a great degree, of mobility of top executives, because they know that otherwise this won't work in the services sector. The second thing is trade deals aren't about tariffs. Tariffs are historically very, very low because of WTO.
Almost 3% now.
Trade deals are about regulation. That's why TTIP. And if you're having regulation, if you're having a deal about regulation where we say we'll keep our regulations the same as yours, you need what Theresa May has rejected. You need external adjudication.
I think what we're really talking about is about soft power that Britain has, the reach of its tentacles through generations of engaging with the world. And I think that Britain needs to, if it's going to be the global Britain that it needs to be, if Brexit is going to be a success, and I hope it's not a hard Brexit, but it's a soft Brexit, then she has to make sure, Britain has to make sure that those instruments of social power that we've been talking about around the table remain firm. At the moment, she has categorically set her face against international students from India. Mr. Modi, Prime Minister Modi, made a big issue about that because, you know, as Anand was saying, international student numbers have fallen dramatically and we lose. This is an act of self-harm. £26 billion in 1 year.
One line from
That's
everybody.
only because I like the restaurant.
He loves the restaurant. One drink? You got to give him a meal, Samir, free.
A meal.
Yes.
But doubling her majority will be failure. Her majority is what, 12?
Well, that's why I'm
Okay, go on.
There's another bet.
There you
10
are.
times her majority.
We're betting now. We're betting. Theresa May.
Majority of 120. So
PM again, Conservatives?
If you want me to give you a number, I would say it would probably be around 80, the majority after the election.
Sarosh.
I'm not sure about it. I think people are now very intelligent and are very conscious of what they are doing. And I think many of them who have been anti-Brexit are going to vote against the Conservative Party.
So you think it's going to be still Conservative with less...
I don't know. It might be borderline Conservative.
I think trying to predict on the basis of polls is a fool's game, really. But what I will predict is that Liberal Democrats will do stonkingly well in this election because we're the only party with a clear message to remain in the...
How many seats?
100 seats.
as I said, I'm not going to play a fool's game in predicting on these polls. I'm not playing that game. I'm not.
That's very ambiguous. Come on.
Because you know what? Given what we're hearing on the doorstep and the offers, massive numbers of people who are ringing us to offer help because we're the only party with a clear message on Brexit, which is different to the hard Brexiteers. It'll be very hard. I may undershoot my prediction, and I would hate to do that.
One thing I heard today morning was that since yesterday, 150,000 young people have enrolled themselves for election voting.
Absolutely. And Liberal
Between 18 to 25 years.
The Jeremy Corbyn supporters with... I won't say that.
And
young people register.
And they are pro-Labour, pro-Liberal.
5,000 new Liberal Democrat members on the day she announced the election.
Oh, wow. That's a number. That's really good. Go on.
Yeah.
Quickly, Samir.
I would just say who is separate, but then other countries are watching if what kind of Brexit it is, and maybe this is a start of total disintegration of European Union here.
So I think that she has taken a bold decision, and from Indian perspective, I think it is only a win-win situation which I see if it succeeds.
Will she win? Will she win?
Probably. I am not an astrologer.
Okay, astrologer.
I think the reason that she will win a landslide majority is exactly the same reason that Vote Leave beat the Remainers, and that's because they gave a positive, an optimistic view of Britain post-Brexit, and the Remainers kept scaring everybody, and they were just, and people want to feel, they want to look at things positively, and I think that Theresa May has a strong hand on the tiller, and I think that you're going to see a massive majority of 100 plus on the 9th of June.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. Majority. So how many people for Theresa May's majority?
I think she'll have a majority.
She will have a, she will win.
She will win. And we're not having reverse on referendum the vote again.
No,
Never.
not
It's a final thing. Will
Random
Brexit work out the good for UK?
Best thing we've ever done.
Huh? Yes.
Best thing we've done in a generation.
If properly handled, yes.
Yes, long-term Brexit will be better for UK. UK will be better off.
Yes, I think so.
Don't know. It depends on what the government does.
Don't know? How many? 3.
Definitely yes.
Yes, yes.
I'm against it. I'm against Brexit altogether.
Thank you ever so much for a wonderful, wonderful conversation and lovely food. Thank you, Samir, as ever. All of us do think that Theresa May will win. What majority we don't know, but 3 people don't know, but 3 people here do and know and are positive that UK will be better off in future with Brexit. What kind of Brexit? First of all, we have to know what kind of government we are going to have to start with. But anyhow, we look hopefully with hope at future, and with hope that you will keep and stay connected with Chai Chat. Please Twitter me on my Twitter handle @Lavina Tandon or Chai Chat @ashtak.com. Thank you, take care, and God bless.
Brought to you by Bank of Baroda, India's international bank.